My first tip is to not waste the crystals that you earn during the game. The reason I say this is because as you play through the game, you'll realize that it's much easier to gain coins than it is to gain crystals. This is because you're able to sell stuff in the shop for coins, but you can't do this with crystals. The only way to earn crystals is if you watch adverts or drops from mobs. Crystals are really important in the game. Use them to enchant your equipment. You will also need them to buy high-level skill books that you'll need to upgrade your skills to legendary and eventually mythical. To enchant one item fully without any fails, you will need just under 265,000 crystals, and obviously times that by 10, the amount of equipment you have, and you have 2.65 million, just under it. As you can see, crystals are very important, so don't go to Underwater Town and waste them by buying useless equipment that you could have farmed later. My second tip will talk about the best place to farm crystals, so it kind of links to my first tip. For me, the best place to farm crystals still is Ancient Fortress on Fatal difficulty. The reason why I say this is because there are a lot of elite mobs in that map, therefore there will be a lot of crystals dropped. It is decently long, but it's not too long, so it's actually quite effective and time efficient. There's also now a chest room at the end, so obviously that will drop a lot of crystals, but also it's a good map for getting resources in general. If you don't have Fatal Fortress yet, or you find it really hard to do so, I would suggest Slime Fields as a more lower level, lower area place to farm crystals. Obviously the map is really flat, so it should be really easy to farm repeatedly. Obviously you have to be careful about the slimes because they can one-shot, but apart from that, I've heard it's a really good place to farm crystals. Obviously my final place to farm crystals, this isn't very cost effective, it's not very time efficient, however it is Fatal Bridge. I think it's a good place to get crystals, obviously because you will be meeting a lot of mobs, a lot of elite mobs as well, so I think it's another place where a lot of crystals can be gained. In my third tip, I'm going to be showing you how to get to Underwater Market. The reason why I'm doing this is because I've looked at the YouTube search list and a lot of people have googled how to get to Underwater Market. So in the following clip, I'm going to be showing you just how. My final tip and advice would be to stop crafting. Now, before the update, crafting was really OP. You could use scrolls to basically create your own item, you could then upgrade this to mythical and even unique it if you wanted to. However, after the update, crafting the perfect equipment that has the stats that you want and are all yellow is basically impossible. In my opinion, instead of wasting resources on trying to achieve something that you frankly can't, in my opinion, it's much better to wait for the perfect legendary to come to you, because there's much more luck in actually getting a legendary that you want and then changing your stats around them. Obviously you have to be really patient for this, however, in my opinion, it's much better than wasting resources. Another path that you could go down is trying to get unique legendaries, which is what I do, and I have a full set of unique legendaries. Once again, you have to be really patient, but the positive about this is that no matter what, these unique legendaries are going to have yellow stats, and as a result of their being set items, you can also plan and build your stats and passive tree around these items. In my opinion, this is a much better option than wasting resources trying to craft an item that keeps on failing. Hopefully you found part 2 of tips to help you progress through Darkrise really interesting and helpful, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. And with all that said, thank you for watching and goodbye.